Well, welcome to our first episode of Pub Talk at Jack Quinn's. I've got Coach Hogan here for the first episode, and we thought it would be fitting, St. Patrick's Day coming up, so
cheers.
Sláinte.
There you go.
There we go, getting it down. So this will be a monthly series that we're looking to do, and figured no better than to start with the head man himself, Coach Hogan. First, some questions, I guess, about back home and even Jack Quinn's. I know you kind of really like coming here. So what's your go-to order? What are you ordering when you come here that's going to remind you of home?
I get the shepherd's pie a lot. I do. I like it a lot. You can get it in a bread bowl. I'm not really into that, but I have done it before. I like the vegan curry, even though it doesn't remind me of home. It's very nice. But the potato fries that our friend over here, John, just had with the, as Alan would say, curry sauce is amazing. So those 2 or 3 things.
Potato fries, don't you call them chips?
Yeah, definitely chips. Well, I'm in America 20 years, so whatever.
What is something that you wish you could get maybe here or just in America in general, food-wise, that would remind you of back home?
It's called a chipper, and Erica will laugh when she sees this. She loves it. It's basically fast food when we're all drunk. It's chips, fries, battered sausage, burgers, anything you want. It's just really greasy food. That's great when you're walking home from the pub. Other than that, my mother's Sunday roast. We don't get any of them over here. We get it once a year and it's Thanksgiving. But we had it every Sunday, so I was sort of spoiled. Yeah, those 2 things.
What's a saying that only an Irishman would understand?
I went to Shane Ball's bad one straight away, but I can't say that on camera, so shout out to Shane Ball, I'll tell you later. A saying that will, on the field, like as a soccer player, soccer coach, like I would use the word quietly, even around referees, Amadan. It basically means idiot. I like to use the word that. I think it's very, very cutthroat, straight to the point. That's a crap decision, you Amadan. You know what I mean? So, but something else, absolute muppet. But I think Americans are really getting used to that, so it's not really at home. And there's so many
we've
slang
heard that
words.
plenty of times in the marketing team.
There's so many slang words that I really can't say. So
fair.
Sorry about that.
Is Guinness really that much better in Ireland than here?
2,000%.
Okay.
Yes, 100%. Jack Quinn's makes a good Guinness. They do pour it, depending on the bartender, most of the time the right way. But if you put this in front of my elder brother, no chance.
What's the biggest difference? Is it just how smooth it is, or
the smooth and a little bit more of the taste that you get from when you're having that sip? You know what I mean? And the whole idea about knowing a good pint of Guinness is that the head follows you down. So as you can see, this thing's all over the place. So my brother comes over here, he's not having a pint of Guinness. You know that for a fact.
Anything else you miss about home? Other than family? Yeah.
Oh, other than family?
Family's easy, yeah.
Family's for sure easy is the first one. Everyone's over here, bar me. Or over there, sorry, bar me. But a lot of friends. At home, and I know it's like this probably around the world, but for us Irish, I think a lot of growing up is with your friends. And my group of friends was about 20, 25 strong in terms of the girls and the lads that we all hung out with. We all grew up together and we all stay in touch. So that was like a second family as you're growing up through all the nonsense and whatever else. So those guys for sure. But other than that, it's just sort of the culture at home, the crack at home. That might be a word that you don't understand. Crack means like banter, or bantor, as Alan would say. But yeah, those 2 things with the family and the friends are, it's not the same over here. When you have your family and the friends over here, but it's special at home.
So now that you guys have chased off Coach Burke, it is fully an Irish coaching staff.
Yeah.
How do you think that influences what you guys are doing, if at all?
It's not a fully Irish coaching staff, and we have to talk about this because we have an American equipment manager, an American director of operations, and we have everyone else underneath us, I think. Well, I don't know what Ken is. Ken could be from somewhere. different planet, but he's a legend.
Yep.
So we talk it as a group, as a staff. That's what I want to get to. I want to get to the whole group. And for this year only, yes, the 3 technical guys are Irish, but that's probably going to change next year. So, but yeah, no, it's Chase Alport. Yeah, he left for different pastures, obviously.
Right.
And he's loving life out there and back in the field, so it's great. Very, very happy for him. Very proud of him because of what he's done to his career to this point and what he's about to do in the next 5-10 years. But it's a little different, a little quieter. You know, we lost Kristen, who, you know, she kept us all in that house, which is unfortunate that we lost her. She was phenomenal. She was part of the technical staff. You know, we lost Brennan, so we lost 2 big names. But the 3 of us and the newbies, as we would call them, are really, really pushing it, really working hard, and we are putting all our Irish slang and humour into the youngsters, and they're accepting it and laughing. And sometimes they're laughing and having a clue what we're talking about, but it's great.
How are you settling in? How do you feel going in now that we're right on the doorstep of starting the season?
Yeah, like I think this week, I think any club, any coaching staff, any technical staff around the country will tell you this last week's holiday. You know, training's been great, everything's understood, you know, there's little tweaks and things we discuss throughout the weeks and whatever else that are now being executed. You know, sometimes they don't get executed and we go over it again and again and again. But it's sort of like, right, let's get to Texas. You know, it's the same thing for every club. You have to get that first game to really know what you have and what you don't have. Like, this is a completely new roster for us. We knew this coming in. We went a different pathway a little bit. And we just have to see, like what we did against Chicago, we didn't know before that kickoff, like what we really were, and we were facing their starting 11. For El Paso, we really have to see how good we are against the real possession team, so we'll see.
How'd you feel New Mexico went? Obviously 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
For the fans that weren't able to be there, what'd you take out of that, and how did you feel about the chances created?
Yeah, we've done that every week. We've created chances, and the guys are talking amongst themselves, like even post-film sessions and all this is, you know, me, Chamberlain, and Alan are in it, and you know, Chamberlain's running it, but like the lads are taking it over and discussing it themselves. They understand that. It's the same against the Rapids game. We had 3-4 clear-cut chances within 15 minutes. So the game should have been over, but we did the exact same thing. We get New Mexico very good, and we gave them some chances. You know, Zach has done a great job there since he's got it, and he's changed one or two little things. And I think he's going to be he's another young, phenomenal coach coming through. But the understanding is that in our locker room, is that we probably should have won that game, and probably comfortable because of how structured we were. And that was a new thing that we discussed this off-season. Even when Brendan was here, it was just like, how do we stop some goals going in? Because if we do get the off-season right, we can definitely put the ball in the net. So that's sort of where we're at. Now, to get that every week is so tough, but we were very happy with our structured performance, but it doesn't really, you have to put the ball in the net, and that's the next step.
So opening weekend, well, people will see this after opening weekend, but is there any particular matches? Obviously El Paso plays this Saturday, and then they have a short turnaround to face us. So obviously that's probably high on your list, but is there any other games that you're kind of looking forward to or tuning into?
No, not really. I just want to take it, the cliche, every game at one at a time. You know, Aaron brought that up in post in prep yesterday, actually. He was just like, this is the start of the season, but this is a Western Conference team, and we can actually build a gap right now if we get points, you know, on the road. So that's it. You know, I would have changed the start. I wouldn't have gone Wednesday, Saturday for us, but it is what it is. That's the schedule, and you know, the Hartford game will be next up, and that's all we think about. Are there games you're looking forward to?
Maybe like an Indy versus, you get the storylines there. Yeah, get Cam going down there. Yeah.
I just saw his little baby girl. She's beautiful.
Yep. Congrats, Cam.
Congrats, Cam. I look forward to seeing him. You know, the Tampa game will probably be exciting to see how good we are against those guys. You know, San Antonio away and all. Yeah, everyone.
What do you expect to see versus El Paso?
Quite similar in terms of how they play. You give them too much of the ball, they can actually tear any team apart. You know, that's always been part of their mold, even with the coaching changes, the personnel they have, their player personnel. It's it's very, very. Me and Shane Boy used to love watching them. Like back 2 years ago? You know, when Macca was playing with them, us and them was great games because they were scared of how fast we were, but we were very cautious about how well they can move the ball. So it was actually a great spectacle to watch 4 games, like with the back and forth and the understanding and the tactical, you know, nuances that both staffs and both teams had to do. So it's exact same setup in terms of how they're going to try and move the ball, but move you with people as well. You know, as long as we can get our aspect of our running game down with a little bit of, you know, possession that we've created throughout pre-season to really make teams run after us, well then it's going to be another good game.
How do we get Macca to score against El Paso like he used to score against us?
Yeah, probably throw the ball into the box, you know, get Wheeler on to beat some people up, and then Macca just puts his head on it or his foot on it. Or his goal against Michael Edwards was crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, wrapping around.
Yeah, definitely a foul out, even though he'll disagree with that, Macca.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
But he really, really trusts himself in the opposition box, and we're going to try and utilise it. And the only thing is, he has 1 or 2 other weapons that we utilise, and hopefully he can get one. I wonder if he celebrates though. He better celebrate at least a little bit. He better celebrate, Macca.
I mean, we saw Josh Suggs score in our building and celebrate, and you know, he was a captain of ours. So hopefully Macca can at least get a little excited, right?
Right, true.
Looking forward to Hartford. Obviously, there's some storylines there with. I mean, there's 4 returning players. Ours, you've got Andre Lewis, you've got Elvis, you've got Bev, and Tristan also obviously coming back.
Yeah.
Aside from those kind of storylines, what do you think you can expect? They look to be much improved in attack.
Looks like what I'm hearing is that, and Tab is such an experienced coach. You know, I'd like to, pick his brain on 1 or 2 things after the game. The understanding of organisation for him, for me, in terms of this is his first year here. And I know he's coaching at a very high level, but the USL, I think, in my opinion, is a completely different animal than any league in the world, even MLS. The physicality of it is outrageous. So the understanding of how organised he can be, I think, is going to be a benefit for them for building a profile of a club. They're still trying to figure out that person that's going to do that. And Tab is probably the guy to do it. I think that's going to be a breakdown battle. You know what I mean? Who's going to break down first? The travel and the return. It's not going to be 100% healthy on our point because we've got 3 days to recover. But it's an understanding of it's our home opener and this is our house sort of thing. And going back to proper preparation, the idea of understanding and execution of certain ideas and certain sequences or certain plays, and is all there. Like, we don't have to discuss it with most of the lads. It's just little tweaks every week. So, they just need to think about El Paso first. Not talking about Hartford. I do want to see the guys. The guys would be nice to see.
Yeah. Obviously, like you said, you want to focus on El Paso, but is there just looking at the fact that they have so many of our former players, is there some good relationship between us and Hartford, or is that just a complete coincidence that they have?
We try and make sure players are taken care of. At the end of the day, we're in the people business, and these people have families and all that, and even the young boys have some family members now, and they had a home. It made sense for Elvis. It made sense for us. It made sense for the other 3 as well. I know Andre's gone now for 2 years, but super guys in terms of the connection with the club. No, it was purely business. It was the right thing to do. And anytime we have to move a player, it's best to move him to the east.
Yeah, get him out of the west for sure.
For sure.
What are you looking forward to from a crowd standpoint and hoping for the home opener?
Sell out.
All right, you heard it. Sell it out, man.
Get as many people in, get it loud. The atmosphere at our place is absolutely ridiculous. I say that to anyone who I walk around. It's obviously where the stadium is. It sounds a lot louder than 8,000-9,000 people, for sure. And if you put the enthusiasm into these players, they're gonna go that extra 2, 3, 4%. So that's sort of what we expect. We'll use that word. Yeah, we expect that this house is sold out every home game.
I I've had a couple of chances to talk with some of the guys, and I was there when Alec was brought into the stadium, and he was in awe of the facility. How big of an asset is our stadium and facility as far as getting some of these top guys to come here? And I've heard it time and time again, but from your perspective, how does it help you sell?
It's easy. It's once they get here and, you know, they see it and they understand it. And it's the way the USL should be. You know, for me, the only field that shouldn't look like a soccer field is Tampa's. And they have it structured for a soccer arena, even though it's still a baseball setup. But it's a phenomenal atmosphere. But everything that you're seeing now, look at the Memphis one in Indy in 25 as well. You know, all these new stadiums, it should be similar to what we are doing, or, you know, the powerhouse of the whole league is Louisville in regards to the game, but in regards to behind the scenes. So it should be in regards to those 2 stadiums, 3 stadiums, 4 stadiums that are already set up. That should be a rule within a certain number of years between the leagues. Then recruiting becomes a hell of a lot easier, because these players are like, whoa, even the players coming down from MLS who have literally anything they want can see that there's a structure in place, there's an idea in place, there's a plan in place to take care of the guy, you know?
So last year when we did the 3 Irishmen here, we talked a little bit. It was a good time. We talked a little bit about soccer in America and what we think we can improve on and try to get kind of those next levels, based on maybe some of the transactions and some of the way that the USL Championship has gone this past season. How are you now feeling, and where do you think that this league kind of stacks up as far as other leagues around the world?
I think Mark Cartwright in the league is doing it the right way. They see what we are, like what Louisville did, what we did with Isaiah Foster. You know, I think New Mexico are going to do it with Nava pretty soon here, even though they've extended his contract. There's probably
Phenomenal
players, Orange County are doing it. It was part of their platform already. So the kids that are coming out of the Barca Academy that are going into USL first, then going that way, you know. So the understanding of these kids not going to MLS and they're in whatever the territory questions and whatever else, it's Mark has grabbed that by the horns and started saying, well, if you do it this way, well then it opens the doors to different continents. And when you open the doors to Europe and other places like Europe and South America, well then ownership groups are going to be happy, because inevitably that's what's going to happen. You're going to get the talent in, and then you have to have the ambition, the understanding of like what we've done, and we have done it. We're proven to do it, and to then go make the timeline the right way for the player, the kid normally, to then not too much pressure at the beginning, the development stage, the aggressive in-game stage, and then all right, now we're getting calls. So what the deal will look like at the end. The league and what we've done is extraordinary over the last few years. So I think it's on the right path, and hopefully it may continue.
I don't know if I have too much else for you then.
Yeah.
Well,
Alex looks good, doesn't he? Axel looks good.
Yeah, Alex doing good over here.
Alex.
Well, first episode of Pub Talk. Cheers, Solancha. And we'll see you guys next month.
Tommy.